Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, I have my iPhone right here. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to put it on mute. And give me one moment. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be doing this presentation for all of you at the American School of Brasilia. My name is Olivia Chen, and I am the admissions counselor here at the University of California, Riverside. And I'm really happy to be part of this amazing opportunity. And as you can see in the background, it's still very early here. And I know it's almost lunchtime for most of you, so you probably will be a little bit hungry. So we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the University of California in general, and I also will talk a little bit about UC Riverside and what makes us special. And finally, I'll talk about the admission process and what you can do to better prepare yourself if you're thinking about applying to the University of California schools. And finally, at the end, your counselor, Ms. Galames, is going to take some questions from you. So make sure that you write it down on a piece of paper, and then she'll type it in, and I'll be able to answer I'll be able to see them on the screen and answer them directly there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. So the University of California. We're located in the state of California in the United States, which is on the West Coast. And why the University of California? Why is it that you want to choose the University of California schools? One of the amazing things that I really, really love about the UC, or the University of California system, is that we teach. We'll have over 700 different majors that you can choose from. Everything from marine biology to mechanical engineering to arts, all the way to social sciences such as international relations. There's so many options for you to choose if you're choosing a University of California school. Also, we are a premier research university. What does it really mean to be a research university in the US? Now, research university, the cool thing about it is that your professors are not only teaching you, but they are also conducting research. They are at the forefront of everything that they're doing. I like to call them the rock stars of their field, everything from business administration to medicine. They are discovering new drugs. They are discovering new ways of doing things. And you as a student will be part of all of that. To be part of research is an amazing, amazing experience, because you're not only learning in the classroom, but also learning and discovering new things as part of your industry. We also provide public service. As part of the UC system, we're also concerned about giving back to the community. For example, at UC Riverside, we are one of the very few universities in the United States that have the most community service hours completed. So as you can see, you're not only learning with an amazing group of students, but you're also giving back to the community and contributing to the common good. So finally, with the UC schools, we're world recognized. Everywhere that you go, you'll be able to meet amazing alumni, and you'll be able to meet people that have been Nobel Prize winners. I'm pretty sure that you are very familiar with the Apple iPhone, right? And the iPad as well. I'm pretty sure many of you own an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod. Did you actually know that one of the founders of Apple, Steve Wozniak, together with Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak was a UC graduate. So you're not only being part of the university, but you're also studying with amazing people that will become the CEOs of companies like Apple, or people that are working in Google, or people that are working in companies such as Lockheed Martin. We also are inventors. Many of our students, including alumni and our professors, are patenting. We have over 5,000 inventions that we are creating every day. And we have more than 600 startup companies that are actually starting here in California, and they are UC Riverside alumni, UC Riverside graduates, and UC professors that are also starting all these companies. So think about this. You're not only being part of an amazing university, you're being part of an amazing group of people that are changing the world. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about what makes the UC unique. What about the campuses? So the University of California schools, think of it as one big family of 10 different campuses. UC Riverside is just only one of them. Our oldest siblings, UC Berkeley, was the first campus that was established here in California. So you probably have heard of UC Berkeley. Now, the UC campuses, because there's so many of us, what do you do? How do you choose? Think about the major. Think about what you want to study. So for example, if you're thinking about marine biology as a major, you obviously don't want to be close further inland in California. So you're thinking about schools or UC schools that are closer to the water. So major will have a lot of importance in choosing your campus. Also the location. Do you like colder weather? Do you like warmer weather? Most of the schools are located in Northern California that are close to San Francisco, such as Berkeley, UC San Francisco. They're actually usually the weather is cooler over there. And finally, if you're thinking about Los Angeles, it's Southern California, so the weather tends to be warmer, a little bit sunnier. So think about that too, the location of where your UC campus is going to be at. And finally, the size. Most of the UC campuses, many of the UC campuses, even though we're part of the same family, we differ in size. So for example, UC Riverside specifically is only 20,000 students. We're actually kind of small when we're compared to our sibling campus, UCLA, which is double the size. That's 40,000 students. Do you prefer studying in a school that is smaller, or do you prefer studying in a school that is much bigger? So all those things you will actually have to think about when you're choosing a UC campus. Finally, apply broadly. One of the things that I highly recommend to students, if you're thinking about the UC schools, always have a first choice, a second choice, and even a third choice. Don't only limit yourself to one UC campus. Also think about other UC campuses that offer similar majors and also a different geographic location. Finally, with opportunities at the UC school. At the University of California, there's so many things that you can do, not only in terms of study and academics and research, but also things outside of the classroom. For example, at UC Riverside, we have over 400 different student organizations that you can be part of. Everything from business administration students all the way to students who are interested in learning about Japanese anime and manga. So outside of the classroom, we are really concerned about what you are going to do, because the UC experience is the whole experience. It's not only about studying, it's also about having fun. So exciting UC programs. One of the things that I love to talk about is our education abroad programs. And I talk a lot about it because I was a study abroad student. So if you're thinking about studying from Brazil to the US, you will most likely be studying abroad. And then if you choose to study abroad while you're here in the UC, you will be a double study abroad student. So we have over 35 different countries that you can choose from, anywhere from Europe to Latin America to the Far East. All these opportunities that you have for study abroad, you can actually earn college credit for it. So you're not only just going abroad and learning a different culture, maybe learning a different language, but you'll also be earning college credit that you can eventually transfer back to your UC campus. Finally, if you're interested in maybe learning about politics or global studies, we also have something called the UCDC and Sacramento Center. The University of California has specific dorms in Washington, D.C., as well as Sacramento Center, in Sacramento, the state capital of California, to allow our students to do internships, to learn about politics, to learn about global issues in these different countries, in these different cities, because that's the hub or where most of the activity, political activity happens here in the U.S. And we allow our students to conduct internships and work experiences there, so you can learn a little bit more about what it is to be a global citizen. Finally, you can also transfer between campuses. Now, if you're interested in if you've been admitted to UCLA and you want to take classes at UC Riverside, you're allowed to take courses at another UC for up to a year. And all those courses that you're taking are transferable. So you can experience different campuses and see what it is to be like in a different location. And undergraduate research, I talked a little bit about it. At most of the UC schools, and actually all of us, we offer undergraduate research opportunities for our students. That means that you're not only studying in the classroom with your professors, but you're also doing research. We're giving money to our students to conduct research, to discover new things. And one of the requirements for you to receive a research scholarship is that you work closely with professor. Many of our students, even if you're not interested in doing research, if you want to learn a little bit more about what your professors are doing, research is a really good way to kind of open yourself up to new opportunities in your field. Whether it be in business, engineering, in dance, in music, any type of major is possible for you to do research. And finally, work-learn programs and internships. At all of our UC campuses, we have amazing career centers where you can go into and learn more about job opportunities in your field. Whether it be in internships and volunteer activities, we help our students gain that experience, because in the end, the reason why you're coming to college is because you want to find a job. And in order to find a job, you want to have all the experience necessary to prepare you for it. Internships don't necessarily have to mean paid. Some of our students don't get paid for it. Sometimes our students do get paid for it. With internships, it's a really good way for you to kind of test it out, whether you like this job or not, or you see yourself doing this for a very long time. So many of our students actively are looking for internships and doing maybe multiple internships to learn more about their field. So finally, what we're thinking about the UC campuses. Now, like I said, we're one big family of 10 different UC campuses, and it's just like 10 different brothers or 10 different sisters, however you want to think about it. And we do have very similar majors among the UC schools, but we also have our own special majors. So think about some of the majors that you might be interested in and look at the UC campuses and see what kind of majors we have to offer. So, like I said, the UC schools are located in California. We're all the way from Northern California to Southern California, close to San Francisco, bigger cities, close to Los Angeles. And the reason why there's so many UC campuses is because we want to make sure that everyone is able to see us. We want to make education accessible to students not only in California, but all around the world. And that's why there's so many of the UC campuses located in California, and so many of us for you to choose from. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what makes UC Riverside specifically unique, because I represent the UC Riverside campus. Now, with UC Riverside, we were established in 1950s, and the history goes that our original founding fathers, when they arrived here in Riverside, they looked at the beautiful Box Spring Mountains that you probably may be able to see in the back. The Box Spring Mountains were covered in beautiful fog, and it reminded them of the Scottish Highlands. And that's why UC Riverside, our mascot, is known as the Highlanders. Although it's an actual bear, we're known as the Scottish Highlanders. And like I said, the school is about 20,000 students, so it's a fairly small school, and most of our students are undergraduate students. And one of the amazing things about Riverside is we offer over 90 different undergraduate majors. You can choose anything from dance to global studies, to business administration, to mechanical engineering. And we allow our students to double major as well. So if you have an interest in more than one interest, you're able to do more than one major. Or maybe if you're not interested in doing a double major, you can do a major and a minor. At UC Riverside, for example, our College of Engineering is ranked #1 among colleges of the same size. And also, we're one of the top national universities in the United States. Our business school is also one of the biggest business programs in the entire UC system. It would be named one of the best in the West. So regardless of what kind of major you're thinking about choosing here at UCR, you're getting a quality education and a quality experience that we make sure that you will be able to take back no matter where you end up in the world, whether it be in Brazil or in the United States or somewhere else in Africa or East Asia. Finally, UC Riverside was established, just to give you a little bit background on what the university is all about. We were established in the 1900s as a citrus experiment station. What does it actually mean? Back in the days, California was known for its orange industry, and that's how UC Riverside had its humble beginnings. We started as a research station for oranges, and even until today, we have one of the largest libraries of citruses in the entire world. So you can trace back the origins of many oranges, lemons, and limes, all the way back here to UC Riverside. And some notable alumni here at UC Riverside. One of our alumni, Tim White, discovered one of the oldest human fossils in the world. He's one of a very famous paleontologists, archaeologists in the United States, and one of the oldest human fossils is dated more than 1.5 billion years old. And also at UC Riverside, we're really concerned about doing research. I talked a little bit about the UC schools and why it's so important for our students to be involved in research, and all those opportunities are available to you as a student. So for example, one of our professors, her name is Cheryl Hayashi. She is a MacArthur Award recipient, and she studies the strength of spider silk. And I like to joke about it because you don't think too much about spider silk, but her research is involved in how to incorporate spider silk in everyday clothing, as well as armor, and as well as sutures for medical purposes. And in the end, hopefully in the future, that's what she hopes to do, is that she'll be able to develop spider silk that is so strong that it will be able to hold an entire human's weight, just like Spider-Man. So finally, I'm pretty sure that many of you are thinking about what it is to apply to UC Riverside or any of the UC schools, or what it is that we're looking for in a student. Obviously, we're looking for freshman students if you're interested in applying straight from high school. For many of you at the American School Brasilia, if you're graduating from high school, you will be applying directly as a freshman student. We're looking that you've completed a rigorous course preparation starting all the way from 9th to 12th grade. We're also looking that you've earned a minimum GPA of a 3.4 out of 4. That's about an 85 out of 100. Now, that doesn't mean that if you don't have the minimum GPA, we will disqualify you automatically. We still encourage you to apply to the UC schools because we are looking at a lot of other things. Not only your grades, not only your course preparation, not only your SATs, but also your extracurricular activities. Any additional information that you can provide, because you as a whole student is important to us. Finally, take the required exams. I'm pretty sure many of you, if you're seniors already, you're thinking about taking the SATs or the ACTs. So make sure that you complete your SAT reasoning test or your ACT with writing by December of your final year in high school or December of your senior year. Most of our students usually start a little bit earlier just to make sure that, if you're not very comfortable with your first score, you can always retake the test. And please remember, it's only a test, so don't stress out too much about it. And finally, with SAT subject tests, you don't really need to take SAT subject tests when you're applying to the UC campuses. However, if you're thinking about engineering or the sciences, I highly recommend that you take a subject test, only because it will help you stand out from the rest of the students that are applying without SAT subject tests, and it proves to the admission counselor that might be reading your application that you are ready for your major, that you're prepared academically for it. And English proficiency. I get this question a lot, and I think especially for students who might be thinking about or coming from out of the country. If your native language or your classroom's language of instruction is not English, I highly recommend that you take the TOEFL or the IELTS to prove English proficiency. One of the tips that I have for you is that go ahead and take the SAT first before you take the TOEFL or the IELTS if you're not sure about your English proficiency. If you score in the SAT writing section at least 560, then you do not need to take the TOEFL or the IELTS. So remember this, if you score at least a 560 on the SAT writing section, then you do not need to take the TOEFL or the IELTS. So that's why my tip for you is that you take the SAT first before you do any of the English proficiency exams. Some final admission tips and tricks for the UC schools. No letters of recommendation. Please do not send any letters of recommendation. We don't need them, unless it is asked from you by the campus. Many of the students think that they want to send letters of recommendation that might help. If we don't request it, then don't worry about it. You can save your counselor some time that way too. Also, do not submit any transcripts. Don't worry about these. Everything in the UC application is self-reported, meaning that we rely on you as a student to be honest and report all the grades, all the courses that you've completed, and all the tests that you've completed. So don't submit transcripts unless the school or the campus requests you to submit transcripts. And it goes to the next point as well. So self-report all your subjects, your grades, and your test scores. Obviously, all of our students are very honest, so we rely on the honesty system to make sure that you report all the grades as accurately as possible. Finally, update your biographical data and test scores after the deadline. You are able to go back to the application and update certain areas. You won't be able to update the courses that you took and the grades that you earned, but you'll be able to update maybe your address as well as additional SAT scores that you've taken. Now, one unique thing about the UC application, like I said, all the grades, all the courses are self-reported, meaning that we rely on you to be honest about it. In the end, when you finally are admitted into the university, you will be required to submit your final transcript showing the date of graduation. So your final transcript, we actually manually look at the transcripts and compare it to your application, to everything that you self-reported in the application, to make sure that everything matches up correctly. So sometimes there might be students who might, I accidentally put in the wrong grade. Just make sure that you do check everything correctly and you input everything accurately in the application. So finally, this is the application timeline. Just to give you an idea, the application is already open right now and you can submit all the way until November 30th. And then your official transcripts are due right here in July 1st. And if you have any additional questions, please do not be afraid of emailing any of the campuses or maybe emailing me, and I'll leave you my contact information here. The reason why we're here is because we want to help you succeed. If you have any questions, talk to your counselor. You can also talk directly to any of the UC campuses and their admission counselors. It's better for you to get the questions answered rather than go back home and not being sure about what's going to happen with your application. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you. So this concludes my presentation about the UC system, UCR, and the application. I'm going to open it up for questions, and I will be able to see exactly what's being typed here. Let's take a look. I'm going to
if they want to ask questions. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Let me, I don't know if I should ask her or just type it. Actually type it. I can type it, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look.
Up to December of this year.
Yeah. ACT or SAT?
Oh yeah, SAT. Yeah, that's a good question. Way to go. Yeah, you're smart guy. Like in December.
Did you get that question that I just typed?
I didn't see the question actually. Let's see.
Okay, well, so what they're asking is if they can submit ACT or SAT scores after the deadline.
After November 30th? Yes, as long as they take the exam by December of their senior year. So you can take your exam all the way until December 31st, and you can submit your scores later on. But as long as the test is taken by December, then you'll be okay. Let's see. I think the connection, oh, here it is. I see it. Okay, I see the questions already. So my FaceTime is actually not working so well. So if you want to type in the question, I'll be able to actually see it. see.